Welcome back to Constructive Game Critiques, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to make a video directly responding to the Xbox Developer Direct that took place yesterday. However, I have noticed, let's just say, a phenomenon with one of the games, and which game I'm talking about should be blatantly obvious at this point, from that Direct, and how it has, you could say, cheated the system, or found a great workaround to immediate success. Yesterday at this event, we got the 4 games that were advertised. That was Forza Motorsport, Redfall, Elder Scrolls Online, and dang, what was the other game? I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. Minecraft Legends. Boom, there we go. Now, when you first saw the video, the first thing you probably noticed is, wow, there's a 5th game there when the presentation first started. And the 5th game ended up being this little title you see as the still thumbnail here, HiFi Rush. Not only was HiFi Rush introduced to the gaming public in general, I'm pretty sure there were those in the media who were aware of it because there were rumors going around about it. And I believe it even leaked earlier that day or the day before. But it released right after it was announced to the general public. And people have been playing it, and I believe it was top 10 trending on Twitter for about 12 hours on January 26th. And I'm pretty sure it was trending on Twitter the day before when it came out on the 25th. My thoughts on this game are not going to be based on how it plays or the gameplay loops or anything like that. In all honesty, I've only played the first level, which is introductory. I have enjoyed what I've played so far, but in being a very busy person who plays a myriad of things, I'm not one of those people that's just going to finish it in 1 week and be able to give you a full opinion on it. However, what I did play, I did enjoy. But again, I'm not really here to talk about the flow of the game, the gameplay loops, the quality of the gameplay, anything like that. What I'd rather speak to is the fact that this game has seemed to avoid something that, once I looked at its immediate effect, I was like, well, damn, maybe this is not only the current problem, but maybe this has been the problem with a lot of projects and products for the last few years. And I'm pretty sure in other media sectors, there are people who've noticed that this is a thing. Certainly in music, you get shadow dropped albums and things of that nature. I think in movies that sometimes happens as well. It very rarely, but my thing with HiFi Rush is that this game has somehow avoided overhype, underhype, predisposed notions of what it will or won't be, and most importantly, the pedestaling of one person's opinion on what it is and what it's trying to do. And what do I mean by all that? I am finding that too often, especially in the gaming community, where we consider video games works of art, constructs of someone's imagination and how they want to interpret that to us and have us interact with it. We are constantly dependent, and not everybody. A lot of people have minds of their own. I know I certainly try to, but we are constantly dependent on what someone else feels about something, and that will dictate whether we even bother to try it or not. With HiFi Rush, Microsoft didn't give the media a chance to spoil it. And what do I mean by that? We're going to take a deep dive into how the media, the gaming media in particular, controls the narrative of what is and isn't acceptable. And I've noticed it, and I'm sick of it, which is why the basis of this channel is to try and be as fair and as down the line as we possibly can be. I'm not a fanboy. I got a PS5. I got an Xbox Series X. I got a Switch. I got a gaming PC. Hell, I'm making this video on the Mac. I don't care about platforms. I use them for what they are able to provide for me, service-wise, entertainment-wise, so on, etc. I really don't care about worshiping the company or anything like that. If anything, people might look at my videos and say, well, you seem like you're an Xbox guy. I do enjoy my Xbox. But as I stated before, I think in the last video, I'm really one of those people who, like I said, I come from an era where I've always had 3 or 4 choices as far as gaming is concerned. I had a Genesis and a Super Nintendo. I had a TurboGrafx-16. I only had one game on the damn thing, but I had a TurboGrafx-16. I enjoy being able to go on another platform and try something different based on that platform's artists' visions of what they think entertainment should be, right? I'm not going to get the same thing from Sony that I'm going to get from Microsoft, and I shouldn't expect that. What would be the point of having a different box if you would give me the same stuff? Likewise, I don't expect the same thing from Sony or Microsoft that I expect from Nintendo, for the reasons I just stated. PC, I expect a little bit of everything because PC is the ultimate melting pot. I don't care what anybody tells you. It is the best platform for games. It is. With respect to the fact that most people either don't have the full knowledge of how to deal with PC, and by dealing with PC, dealing with configurations, what to buy, what not to buy, things of that nature. PC is not perfect. It has its complications. But when you talk about games on an experimental level, the longevity of games, it is the ultimate platform. But that's a whole nother video, right? HiFi Rush is a game that I believe, had it come out or been announced rather months ago, would have been viewed by many a preview journalist, right, as being a derivative action adventure game, hack and slash, whatever category they would have thrown it in, that tries to base its combat around music, right? I'm pretty sure there's some journalists out there who would have had a jaded set of eyes on this game and how it works and would have buried it like that. But instead of getting that opinion, instead of getting that preconceived notion of what it is from a journalist, we got to experience the game for ourselves. Now, I'm pretty sure there's people out there who legitimately don't like it. They're not into it or whatever. But people generally seem to be enjoying it. And I guess the point I'm getting at is you have to ask yourself, how many people would have actually given this game a chance had it not shadow dropped? Now, whether Microsoft was just being cute and saying, you know what, we really got to do something that's got to, make this show pop, let's shadow drop this game, it's done anyway. Or if someone at Microsoft had the foresight to be like, you know what, F the media, F previews, let's shadow drop the game and let the fans see if it's something they're into. And if that's indeed the case, I say bravo to them. It worked. And this is a thing that needs to happen more often. There's a lot of things in the media, and you would be forgiven to dismiss what I'm about to say. But in particular, when it comes to the Xbox brand, it seems, and granted, they've given more than enough reason, especially last gen, for publications to feel this way. But when it comes to the Xbox brand and a large Microsoft, negativity and vitriol being thrown at them it's like shooting ducks in a barrel, right? Like, it's the easiest low-hanging fruit to go after, and you see every major news publication, and I use that term loosely, go for it. If it's not, and I'm not trying to make money off this video, but if it's not Kotaku and it's IGN, the over examination, the intense microscope put on things on the Microsoft corporation at large, and the things they may or may not do right, as if no major corporation is doing a lot of things wrong or right, is usually accentuated by sites like those. It's like they got a vendetta for them, or they just don't like them, and particularly when it comes to them being involved in gaming. I'm actually surprised that Microsoft, as big as they are, haven't just decided to ignore them. But I guess that would strategically not be a smart thing to do, because the news has got to get out about your product some way. However, HiFi Rush may have completely defied that notion. And, I was actually going to make a video talking about how the media has kind of twisted the idea of what a quality game is in another way. So, point of reference, I have been playing the hell out of Ghost of Tsushima. I've recently platinumed it. Got about 100 hours in the game. Finished the Iki Island story. Didn't do all the side quests. Deleted the game because I really got tired of the loop. 100 hours of it. I'm good. But in playing that game, and I got 100 hours in. I'm not bragging. I'm not one of those people where I got a trophy, so my opinion means more than yours. That don't mean a damn thing. It's a trophy. It's a worthless, non-fungible token. That's all those trophies are. And people who use trophies to compare knowledge, more or less gaming prowess, are foolish. But again, another video. I played the hell out of that game. And the only thing I could think of in about hour 90 is, why is it that this game gets to get away with doing what it's doing in this gameplay loop, but we constantly give shit to Ubisoft and the Far Cry series for doing the exact same thing? That's the media. Yeah, that's the media. Look, I've played every Far Cry game. I haven't finished all of them, but I played every one of them, and I've completed maybe 2 or 3 of them. I'm really, up until recently, I haven't really been good at finishing open world games. It becomes too much for me, particularly the GTA missions. Some of those missions, the gameplay is, I don't like Take-Two Interactive gameplay. Like, the controls horrible. I did finish Red Dead Redemption 2, hell of a story, but I digress. But it's just funny to me that the one difference between these two games and their gameplay loops is a samurai sword, not guns. Now, I already know somebody's going to jump on my head. How are you going to compare Ghost of Tsushima to Far Cry? Because I played the hell out of both of them. Now what? I played the hell out of both of them. I didn't say I didn't enjoy Ghost of Tsushima. I enjoyed the hell out of Ghost of Tsushima. I spent 100 hours playing it. I also enjoy Far Cry. I spent hundreds of hours playing that series. They're not different. They're not different at all. The biggest difference is probably how intrusive Far Cry's UI can be. But does that make the game horrible? Because the UI is intrusive? Because there's a lot of stuff to do and they want to tell you where all of it is? No. But it's just crazy to me how we're conditioned to accept the fact that Ghost of Tsushima gameplay loop is literally sneak in the grass, shoot guys with arrows, liberate a base, the good guys come back and live in it. Go to another base, sneak around killing people, kill the boss in that base, the good guys come and live in that base. If you go play Far Cry, it's the exact same damn thing. Yet the media will bury a Ubisoft game or an Assassin's Creed game. Like, why are we shitting on Assassin's Creed, but we love Ghost of Tsushima? They're literally the same game. Right? Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is one of the games I bought with my Xbox Series X at launch. Same damn games. Guns. That's the difference. They're guns. Other than that, same game. Not a difference at all. And we can speak to the quality of the story or the reactiveness, the responsiveness of the controls, but we're talking about the same damn game. That's the problem I have, right? Ubisoft has done some terrible stuff with their games, from the recent NFT debacle to basically turning a lot of franchises that people love into things that they never were before. Like, I personally am not a big fan of what Rainbow Six has become. I play it because my friends play it, and its camaraderie is a big part of gaming for me. It always has been. But like, Rainbow Six Siege is not something that I will sit here and say that I love, right? It's not a game that it's like, I don't know. And it's probably because I'm just bad at it. But for people to dog Ubisoft out for how their games are built, but then praise Sony for building the exact same damn game is crazy to me. And I know this because I played it. As a matter of fact, it's strange. I remember Xbox getting killed, metaphorically speaking, of course, for Halo, Forza, Gears. Halo, Forza, Gears. But on PlayStation, every game is a third-person action narrative-based game. They're the same games. To the point where I platinum Horizon Zero Dawn and already had Horizon Forbidden West queued up. I haven't touched that game yet. You know why? I don't want to play that right now. I just spent 100 hours doing that. It's really difficult for me, and I'm not trying to be a jerk. I really am not. It's difficult for me to go from one PlayStation exclusive to another one. I have God of War Ragnarok on my PlayStation. I have Horizon Forbidden West on my PlayStation. I've only finished the first section of God of War Ragnarok. You know why? Because I jumped off Ghost of Tsushima, and it felt like I was doing the same damn thing. Guy with a weapon, melee weapon, parrying stuff, beating the shit out of people as soon as he knocks them away. It's the same shit. It's the same game over and over again, but they don't get buried for that. Now, mind you, God of War 2019, was it 2018? I can't remember. Great game. Love it. Uncharted series, love it. Last of Us series, love it. I love these games. I'm not saying they're bad. But no one calls Sony out on that. And then there are some of us who would adamantly defend this idea that Sony was right in trying to deny the Activision Blizzard King deal to Microsoft. when honestly, Sony being forced to come up with their own first-person shooter wouldn't be a bad thing. It's not like they don't have the IP to do it. And I've mentioned this before in my previous videos. It's just like, the only reason I play this Insurgency Sandstorm game, which is, no knock on that game. It's an old game. It was old when it came to PlayStation and Xbox. Not the most polished product. Very clunky movement. I mean, I guess it's trying to be realistic. So you can't just move like a Call of Duty character and stuff like that. But very clunky movement. Not the most polished game in the world. But you know what I should be playing on PlayStation, where I wouldn't even have to touch that game? I should be playing SOCOM. The media has created these narratives where we can focus on the negative of one company, but not on the negative on the other. And you see it for Xbox 2 on some sites. You see it for Xbox 2 on some sites. But again, it's easier and thus lazier for them to take a dump on Xbox, build up Sony. This Forspoken game, I think, has suffered from overhype. No one ever really bagged on it until that demo came out. And then it was like, oh, it's mixed. It's like, no, something's clearly wrong there. It doesn't look like what it was promised to be. A lot of people's complaints about it were legitimate. I did try the demo. I have not bought the game yet, so I'm not saying the game's bad. But I played the demo and it's like, well, it's not bad. But I remember this game being hyped up to be X, Y, and Z, and I'm not seeing it. And then, unfortunately, that game has seemingly been buried, and particularly by HiFi Rush, a game that we didn't even know existed until 2 days ago. Point of the matter is, folks, I'm going to close this video out because it's running long. I think HiFi Rush has shown us, and in particular Microsoft, that maybe they don't need the media as much as they think they do. Maybe the best idea is every time you hold one of these directs, hey, shadow drop something, shadow drop a date. Throw something out there that's only a rumor. Because until you can change this narrative based on, reputation you built last generation over the last 12 years or so, actually, it's kind of a poison pill. Again, think about what I've said. What would they have said about this game? How would they have buried this game? Because it's an Xbox game that's exclusive, how many journalists are PlayStation fanboys? Which is understandable. A lot of people grew up on PlayStation. I get that. But how many journalists or PlayStation fanboys that would have looked at this game and called it derivative, other big words, shaming it? Oh, it's just a Devil May Cry clone with a rhythm. Bayonetta does this better. God of War does hack and slash better. Think about that. And I'm fucking serious. It would have gotten eaten alive had it been known of before 2 days ago. But they didn't get a chance to do that. And this $39, I think it's $39 on the Xbox store game just came out and destroyed a $70 Square Enix game that was hyped up for about 2 or 3 years. Because Forspoken is an afterthought at this point. That's crazy. Food for thought. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so. Leave some comments for me. Let me know what you think. Am I on point? Am I off? More videos coming soon. I know I've promised that before, but I'm trying to get better. My work schedule's actually allowed me to be a little bit more consistent, and I'm finding that still pictures and conversation may seem lazy, but it's a hell of a lot easier to do than spending hours editing, especially after a hard day of work. However, there is more content coming soon, including streams that are planned. Can't promise you a date yet, but it's all coming. It's coming together. Again, love to interact with you guys. Leave me some comments, subscribe, like, unlike if you didn't enjoy the video, you don't disagree. But by all means, interact. Please. Love you guys. God bless. And thanks for watching.